With rumors shut down and more, this is Pro Wrestling Central. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Former WWE and current AEW commentator Jim Ross had given an update weeks back on his colon cancer. Ross had also recently told a story about Ric Flair exposing himself at a party. Flair would call Ross an attention seeker and tell him to focus on his recovery. While Flair later played it off as a joke, most did not find this funny. Now, Ross has revealed where he stands with Ric Flair, noting on his Grilling JR podcast, "I have not actually spoken to him. I heard he is battling skin cancer. I've had that, so I know what he's going through, but I haven't spoken to Rick. He called me early on when I was diagnosed. He called me and left a message, but I haven't spoken to him since that time. No, not at all. I don't know where that came from. People just want to dig up stuff and gossip like that. I have no agenda, negative or positive, with Rick. He knows I love and respect Ric Flair. He and I are fine as far as I'm concerned. I have great respect for Rick and what he has accomplished, so no issues at all with him, Conrad. I just hope he gets healthy and feels good, because pro wrestling needs Ric Flair. He's a big part of the fabric of our business, and I hope his skin cancer is addressed and controlled." While SmackDown star LA Knight has been featured on Raw recently, this was said by Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter in regards to Knight shifting to Raw full-time. On LA Knight to Raw, he will be and is doing a program with the Paul Heyman group, and Raw guys and SmackDown guys aren't strict at all, but no move to Raw right now as a home base, but he'll be on the show at times. Bringing up crowd reactions in WWE, Women's United States Champion Zelina Vega said this on the Lightweights podcast. "Chelsea Green is obviously very loved. People have fallen in love with the character, and with me, it's like there'll be times where I get a ton of promo time when I was a heel, but then as a babyface, I never get the mic. So people don't get to know much about me. They don't really get to see me as a babyface. That's why they're like, oh my gosh, you're so much better as a heel. I'm like, it's because you don't hear me talk at all. They don't really get to see me as a babyface. People are judging off something they haven't really been shown." Explaining why he never turned heel, Rey Mysterio told WrestleZone, "They would really have to push me to the edge. I mean, even my wife says I never see you get mad at anyone but me. Why do you not fight? You don't fight with anyone, but when you want to fight, you fight with me. So I mean, it would be very hard for me to get pushed." I think the only time that I've been closest to becoming a heel, or I guess we were just having fun, because that's how we were, is Filthy Animals. That has been the closest. Overall, my personality, my demeanor is very laid back, so I think it would be very hard. Despite AEW Grand Slam Mexico being promoted as a sellout, Dave Meltzer noted in the Wrestling Observer newsletter on the broadcast, the announcers called the show a sellout, which it was not, and also used the term over 10,000 fans. From non-AEW sources who know the building, the report was the paid was 14,000, although it looked like closer to 13,000 inside. They never shot the wide panoramic shots that they do on Fridays when they have 10,000 or more, although you did get the sense there was a WWE sized crowd and far hotter. Responding to the idea of returning to UFC or WWE, Ronda Rousey noted on the Untapped podcast, "I am deep in mom mode. I am not in the studio, I'm working out of my garage, and I'm just trying to reclaim my body from motherhood, you become this like human assembly factory, and you completely like lose your own autonomy, and you literally, like, a baby is like a parasite. It is like sucking the life out of you and just taking over everything. I'm just, just trying to reclaim myself from, this amazing thing that women's bodies are designed to do, but it really does just like take you over entirely. You're left with what's left over. You're like, oh my god, will I ever be the same again? Or the answer is no, but you could be a new something. It was during the windstorm that like caused all the fires in Palisades, and we were like literally smelling the fires as we were released from the hospital, and like the winds knocked over a tree on the car as we were driving home. She came out like the doctor barely got her gloves on, and she was poof, she was out. But second kid, During that same interview, Rousey touched on the issues she had physically from her time in the UFC, saying, "Fortunately, I have a lot more information now of what was going on with me, and I just felt like I couldn't be honest about what I was physically going through without people feeling like I was making excuses for myself. Dana White sent me to this long-term fighter's neurological study. We've actually been able to diagnose a lot of the stuff that was going on with me, and I guess still is. In these fights, 2 of my triggers are bright lights and head impacts, so I'd get hit and I'd basically lose big chunks of my vision and my depth perception and my ability to track movements quickly and make snap decisions, which is basically all the things that I need. I had to retire because this kept happening to me more and more often, and to the point where I would get a jab and I would basically go blind. It could be a game changer because it actually could be some solutions to it. Before I was like, oh, it was just inevitably declined. And until I'm in my pants, great, this is my life now. And I was like, I need to stop this or else I'm just speeding this up. I'm much more hopeful than I've ever been. Possibly there's something I could do to make it better." As Randy Orton was originally set to face Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 41, Owens had to pull out of the match due to neck issues. This led to TNA's Joe Hendry stepping in as a late replacement. Talking about this, Aleister Black revealed he was considered for that spot, telling Lay 10 Sport, "From what I'm told, there was a discussion about it, but for obvious reasons, it didn't go any further because they had another plan. But the option was considered. It was a thought process like, what if we do it? Well, maybe not. Okay, that's all I heard." The fact that they discussed it at all is pretty cool, and I would have jumped at it with open arms, because anytime I get a chance to wrestle Randy, it's a good time. Because Randy, he's Randy Orton, He's Randy Orton at WrestleMania. How could I say no? You know what I mean? I'd be scared, but I'd do it. It would be crazy. Mentioning how Mariah May leaving All Elite Wrestling for WWE changed plans for AEW's upcoming event, Dave Meltzer said this in the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Those close to Mercedes Moné say she was willing to lose to Athena to build a rematch at AEW All in Texas. But when the Toni Storm vs. Moné match was decided upon, it made no sense for her to lose that match and not win the Owen Hart tournament. The original idea months back still involved Mariah May for All In, but obviously that was changed when May wasn't going to sign a new deal. Going over why WWE is upset about the American Gladiator show, Ringside News wrote that Amazon Prime's reboot of American Gladiators hasn't even premiered yet, but the drama is already spilled beyond the arena, and it's coming from WWE. According to Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, it wasn't AEW that had a problem with the show's star-studded cast, it was WWE. The issue reportedly centers around The Miz hosting the new version of the iconic competition show, while current AEW talent like Wardlow and Camille are featured as gladiators. WWE reportedly wasn't thrilled that one of their top stars would be front and center on a show that prominently features rival company talent. Despite that, the reboot is moving full steam ahead with production underway and The Miz still locked in as host. Wardlow and Camille join a lineup that also includes J-Rod, Jesse Goddard, and Eric Bugenhagen, formerly Rick Boogs in WWE. The series is a full-scale reimagining of the original American Gladiators and will feature classic challenges like the Gauntlet, Hang Tough, and the Eliminator. Meanwhile, not every wrestler who tried out made the cut. It was previously reported that OVW's Freya the Slayer auditioned for a role but wasn't selected by producers. The reboot is part of a massive rollout from Amazon, which includes a 24/7 streaming channel and a planned Live Nation tour. With real-life pro wrestlers stepping into the world of televised athletic warfare, the tension isn't just in the ring, it's in the boardrooms too. Touching on Jey Uso losing the World Heavyweight title to Gunther, who recently won it back and will be defending the belt against Goldberg, Dave Meltzer said this in the Wrestling Observer newsletter. When the decision was made to put the title on Uso, it had already been decided it would be short reign and that he would lose it back to Gunther. I'm not sure if the Raw in Phoenix was always the day, but it was to be before the Goldberg retirement match, which was planned for going head-to-head with AEW All in Texas on July 12th. With it said by Bodyslam.net that Ethan Page and Ricky Starks from NXT were being considered as potential members of Seth Rollins' faction, Paul Heyman responded to all these article headlines, writing, "Since it's not April Fool's Day, I guess it's Clickbait Thursday." Steve Carrier added, Paul Heyman has denied reports of Ricky Starks and Ethan Page joining Seth Rollins' group via Instagram stories. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.